Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the time of knowledge and awareness. At your service, yours truly, Mary Faith Satare. What does it mean to be a boy or a girl? Is gender inequality relevant today? How can we address this? Gender refers to the socially constructed roles, behaviors, expressions, and identities of girls, women, boys, men, and gender diverse people. For me, gender is like our inner sense of being a boy, girl, or something else entirely, separate from your body parts. It is how we express ourselves to the world, like wearing comfy clothes or dressing up fancy. And it doesn't have to follow strict rules of boy or girl things. It is all about who we feel we are on the inside and how we show that to the world on the outside. Sex, on the other hand, occurs when there is a variation in the biological attributes that comprise the act of sex. It is like the basic ingredients of baking a cake: the flour, sugar, and eggs. But gender is all the frosting, sprinkles, and decorations you add to make it uniquely yours. In other words, sex depends on our attributes, but gender depends on our will. Imagine a classroom where half the students are told they cannot use half the paints because of some outdated rules. That is what gender inequality is like in education. It limits everyone's potential. Peace education thrives on inclusivity and respect, but if girls and boys are judged by stereotypes, it leads to frustration. A fair shot for all leads to less resentment and greater cooperation, much like in a team project where everyone contributes their best ideas. This is why equality is crucial. Teaching equality is more than just being fair. It is the first step in establishing a peaceful society in which everyone is respected for their abilities, has a voice, and collaborates to solve problems. We are creating a classroom, a playground, a world where everyone can work together to build peace. We are all different people, unknown destinations, and unique stories to be told. But at some point, the world became a place where people cannot simply live the life that they want. If you do not meet the set standards, you are treated as if you are the problem. If you are living with your own set of standards, you're figured as selfish. No matter what you do, mostly everyone has a say to you. Gender inequality can sneak up on us like whispers on the playground. We hear girls cannot be tough, boys shouldn't cry, and some chores are just women's work. These stereotypes, like stubborn weeds, choke away potential. By challenging these ideas and treating everyone the same, we can create a world where everyone feels free to climb high and play their own game. I picture myself handling a classroom where I will be challenging their roles by letting them choose their parts based on their skills and interests. Maybe a quieter girl wants to lead a research or any group activities, or an enthusiastic boy prefers the creative writing part. After reading a classic fairy tale, I'll have students rewrite the ending. Maybe the princess rescues the prince, or the hero solves the problem with kindness instead of a sword. This playful exercise lets students question stereotypes and imagine a world where everyone can be brave and resourceful. I will pay attention to the language used, Instead of saying they need a strong doctor, I'll use gender-neutral language like they need a skilled doctor. This small shift helps students see all possibilities open to them, regardless of gender. By incorporating these ideas, I can create a classroom that feels inclusive and empowering for everyone. It is about showing my students that they can rewrite their own stories, break free from stereotypes, and build a future where everyone gets to play their part. In Filipino culture, boys often play rough, sometimes expected to be assertive, and might be discouraged from expressing emotions freely, while girls take on nurturing roles, encouraged to be polite, and might be seen as more emotional. This can lead to boys struggling to prioritize competition as well as express emotions, and girls prioritize caregiving and lacking confidence in conflict resolution. To put it another way, this can affect how they communicate and resolve conflict later in life. This reinforces a cycle of violence and limits women's roles in peace building. Classrooms can counteract this by encouraging all students to explore various activities, showcasing diverse heroes, using inclusive language, and celebrating all interests. By fostering an environment of respect and dismantling stereotypes, schools can empower future generations to build a more peaceful and equal society. Now, picture a classroom that feels like a joyful playground, not a place where some kids are stuck on the sidelines. To make it that way, I ditch the boys versus girls games for group projects where everyone picks rules that make them shine. We'd celebrate history heroes of all kinds, not just the usual suspects, and even dig up local heroes to show everyone can be awesome. My words would be like a big hug, using language that makes it clear anyone can be a doctor, a writer, or anything they dream of. Bookshelves would overflow with stories of strong girls in science and boys who love to dance, because following your passion is what matters most. This way, every student knows they can rewrite their own story, climb the monkey bars of possibilities, and leave the sandbox of stereotypes behind. That is the kind of classroom I'd love to create. We all grow up with ideas about gender. But the world is more colorful than that, right? Together, let us build a more inclusive world. Reflect your biases. Can you create a space where everyone feels welcome?